me show you how to make a classy BuBu with built-up neckline. It is super classy and easy to make, even if you're a beginner. Let's get to class. This is the part 2 of this tutorial. So if you've not seen the first one, scroll back, go back to my page and watch the first one, okay? And then if fast-paced tutorial doesn't do it for you, then you can check my YouTube channel at Perfect Glamour Fashion. The video is already posted there. So this is me folding my material into 4. I'm using just a little fabric I had for this tutorial, okay? So you fold it into 4. Now for the front, I'm cutting both the front neckline and the back neckline together. So just the way we did to the pattern paper, we're coming down by 5 inches. This is to form the base of the collar, right? Just the way we did for the pattern paper. Now on that 5-inch line, we came down by 5 inches, remember? So every other measurement you're going to be taking is going to be from that 5-inch line. I'm going to mark my chest line plus 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So now it's 9.5 I'm using, no longer 1/2 inch, 9 inch. So I'm adding 1/2 inch sewing allowance to everything I used for my front, okay? So I've marked my chest line, I've marked my hip line. So chest line plus 1/2 inch sewing allowance, and then I'll mark my hip line and I'll square up the lines. I'm connecting the lines for my chest line and for my hip line. Now over to the back neckline. This time around I'm going to be using 3 inches, no longer 3.5 like we used for the front. I'm going to use 3 inches on the material, 3 inches, and I'm going to go down by 1 inch. When you measure this, should give you something around 3.5 inch. So if you have 3.5 inch, you are on track, okay? Now you're going to divide your hip by 4. On the hip line now, we're going to divide your hip by 4 and add 3 inches or 4 inches, depending on how big you want the BuBu to be. So you're going to mark whatever you get on the hip line. You're going to mark it on the waistline. You're going to also mark it on your hemline. Remember, BuBu dresses usually don't have, all the shape that other dresses have. Okay, that's why it's BuBu dress. Now on the neck line, on the shoulder line, you're going to come down by 1.5 inch and you're going to connect it to form a new shoulder slope. Then from that new shoulder slope, you come down by 12 inches, and on that 12-inch mark, you come in by 1.5. This is how to form normal BuBu sleeve, right? Okay, now that we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is to connect the line to our seam line that we already have, and then mark 1/2 inch to form your 1 inch to form your curve. Just the way we do for BuBu dresses, right? Now for the front neckline, you will come down by 9 inches or whatever you came down by when you were cutting your pattern, okay? And then you connect it to the neck width to form your front neckline. Now I'm bringing in my pattern. With this pattern, I will lay my pattern flat using rule pin. I'll be holding it flat with pin. Just make sure you place this well, because you're going to be adding sewing allowance to this pattern on the material, okay? So place this well with your pin. Ensure that the neck lines are meeting. When you place this well, you see that the shoulder slope will meet the shoulder slope on the pattern will meet the one on the material, okay? Now that I've done that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to add 1/2 inch sewing allowance round the pattern. I'm using my tape roll to add 1/2 inch sewing allowance around this pattern. So now that I've done that, I'm going to be using the shoulder slope. I'm going to be using is the one on the material, okay, not this one on the pattern